Hi, everybody. Welcome to A Drink with Gregory Gourdet, presented by Mark Levinson Luxury Audio. I'm your host, Hillary. Everyone here in this room is here for a reason. This room is filled with curious and inspiring people. And if you don't know, On a Drink With, this is a space for open and honest conversations. We hear stories of grit and perseverance, and tonight's guest has that passion. So we'll just get started. I'm up in northern Michigan. I got my mocktail. Please join me in welcoming Top Chef finalist, James Beard nominee, ultra marathon runner, cookbook author, culinary mastermind, Gregory Gourdet. Cheers!
Hi, everyone. Hey, Hillary. Yeah, I'm a cheers too. I'm
Gregory!
thirsty.
You're really a leader in creating these inclusive and safe workspaces, and have this objective to rethink restaurant culture and leadership. So, I mean, this is why I want to have this drink with you, and I would love for you to share just more about your mission at Kann.
Sure. Well, first of all, I just want to thank you for having me today. It's been quite busy, so it's really nice to break up the work schedule and to chill out and have a drink with everyone. I'm actually in the kitchen of the current pop-up that we are doing, and it's called Kann Winter Village. I had actually left my post at Departure, which I was at for about 10 years, and I was actually left, and I was planning to open up my own restaurant. It's a Haitian concept, but we saw a lot of things. We saw, Black Lives Matter, and our industry also went through a huge reckoning at the bulk of last year. As I thought about what type of restaurant I wanted Kann to be, I knew that, representation would be extremely important. It being, a Haitian concept, it became abundantly clear that if I were to do a concept, I really wanted to tackle these issues head on. I've been very lucky to work with some amazing women, also some amazing non-binary folks.
You opened up about your recovery on Top Chef, and you had an amazing TED Talk. So how, in terms of mind, body, and spirit, how did you maintain a healthy mind, body, and spirit throughout challenging times? Because it wasn't just, 2020.
No, indeed. I don't know. I've actually used Alcoholics Anonymous as my program for recovery, and it's been extremely helpful because I actually tried to get sober a few times. I went to rehab. I tried to just like go cold turkey, and nothing really worked until I met a group of chefs who were actually in Alcoholics Anonymous. And Alcoholics Anonymous truly is a program. It's a lifestyle, and there's so much information there that just kind of helps you get through the day. Just knowing like little sayings like "this too shall pass," keeping your side of the street clean. It truly is a program for life, and it truly makes us realize that, whatever obstacles we're going through, again, these are temporary things.
We got a taste of your music pre-show. We were listening to a playlist that you gave us. So we got a taste of your clubbing days. But tell me more about that magical music memory. Like, what was the song?
Yeah. I mean, it's called, Richie Houghton is a pretty famous music producer. He actually has a sake company now, but he's a pretty iconic techno producer, and he had this album called Fuse. It's called Dimension Intrusion. It's really experimental electronic dance music, and I went to college in Missoula, Montana, which was a pretty big departure from growing up in Queens. But it was an amazing experience. We were young, we were in our 20s, we were like partying. I started cooking for the first time. So it was like literally like one of the best times of my life. And that album just celebrated its like 25th anniversary. It's interesting how music can really create, a lifelong lasting impression, and kind of timestamp memories into our brains and into our souls.
For sure. So you have an exciting and new partnership with Mark Levinson, and I have to ask, as someone who seems to take great pride and responsibility in who you align yourself with and the causes that you are a part of, what made you want to partner with Mark Levinson?
Well, I think Mark Levinson's truly represents the best of the best. And, of course, I've just explained how music has been such an important part of my life. And a pathway to that music is Mark Levinson. So when we talk about precision, precision is something that's really important to me in the kitchen, having a sense of luxury, but still being accessible. This is a feeling I like to give with my food, because people always love to experience something lush, something they truly can't get anywhere, but you kind of want it right away. And I think food and kind of Mark Levinson kind of tie in together in that sense. So, I love accessible luxury and precision, and anything that makes my life fuller. So I felt it was a good partnership with Mark Levinson for sure.
So the question we ask everyone is, if you could have a drink with anyone, who would it be, dead or alive? Set the scene. We know what you're drinking. So where are you
Okay.
drinking this? What are you listening to?
I think this is really easy for me, and the answer I have to say the person would be Kamala Harris. I think for her to make history, as our face female and South Indian and Black vice president, breaking barriers and representation, and for both people of color and for women, I think it truly is a momentous time for our country where we can say, we have a female ethnic Black president. And, I'm so happy that my gorgeous young nieces have someone like Kamala to look up to.
Amazing. Best dance. Like, I would have been upset if you didn't say her. um, okay, so we are gonna pick for our first question, Emily.
Cool.
I was texting Hillary earlier today about how excited for this I was. I'm actually in a Top Chef fantasy league with a bunch of friends, which is hilarious.
Okay.
It's great. I got second place this year. Loved it. I've had such a fun time following Kann, from the restaurant wars on the show now to your winter market pop-up. Can you tell us a little bit about the evolution of your creative vision? And do you have any plans for a full-time year-round Kann in the future?
Yeah, so actually, the Kann I envisioned was actually, so yes, we had an episode of Restaurant Wars on Top Chef last year, and I debuted Kann, and we won Restaurant Wars, which is a challenge in the show where you have to come up with a restaurant, and you have to build it, and you have like 2 days to build it, and you have to execute service. So, well, Kann is definitely going to be a full-fledged restaurant, hopefully sometime in 2022. I kept pushing the date back. And prior to the pandemic, I was supposed to be opening the real restaurant now. And then I thought maybe open it during the summer, but, I think the pandemic's still raging, unfortunately, through our country. So, I think finding creative ways to pop up will be my move for the next year.
When you're alone, like at night, and you're like whipping up your just dinner for yourself, what are you making?
Okay, before the pandemic, when I was a chef, I would literally just like live at the restaurant. I'd work like 12 hours a day. And on the weekends, I would literally just go out to eat, to go see my friends and support other restaurants. I like never ever cooked at home, like ever. And then I've been writing a cookbook for the past 3 years, which just went on pre-sale today, so you should order it. But I had to recipe test all these recipes, 200 recipes I had to recipe test. So over the past 3 years, I've just been cooking and cooking and cooking. So I was forced to finish my cookbook in my house and literally just cook in my tiny kitchen all day. So that being said, I have cooked quite a bit in my kitchen, but if you really want to know, when I go home, I stand at my counter and I grab a spoon and I dip it into jars of sun butter jelly, sunflower seed butter, and strawberry jelly, and I stand there and I think about my life. And I go back from nut butter to jelly, and that's literally what I eat. Sometimes I spread it on cookies, sometimes I spread it on tortillas, but I literally eat like a 5-year-old when I get home.
Well, I could chit chat forever. This has been so fun. It's like so. I love seeing everyone in the grid over here. And Gregory, thank you so much for taking the time to do this and just for doing everything to make a difference. And thanks to Mark Levinson for bringing us all together for this one-of-a-kind experience. And thanks just for everyone for coming out on a Tuesday night. On the East Coast, it's 10 o'clock. So this is a wild night. So thanks, everyone. We will see you soon. Thanks, Gregory. Cheers, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for coming.